What's up, guys? Welcome to Wally's Welding World. I'm the weld professor, and if you didn't know, well, now you know.
Thank you guys for subscribing. Thank you for turning on your notifications and watching these videos when I drop them. I guess this is what you want. You want me to do the voiceover. You don't want to just watch the puddle. You want me to explain it. So let me explain a little bit of this puddle work for you guys. Now, we all know you got to make that puddle, right? That's right. You got to know how to control it, manipulate it, do what you want with it. Now, when it comes to downhill welding, it's a little bit different than uphill welding, but it's very similar because it's welding. The only difference is you're not fighting the hard flux. It's a lot different with the flux here. This flux that we're burning on these downhill rods, you know, it's a little bit more brittle. It's a little more forgiving, but you can trap it. If you're not hot enough, you will trap this stuff. If you don't have good motion and good movement, you will trap this stuff. So that's what I'm here to talk about. The motion, the movement, the control of the puddle. I like to burn these sticks all the way down to the nub, man. If I can, I'll burn it all the way until the flux is breaking off. And that's when I like to break arc. That's my favorite. And you'll see it right here over and over. I try to get down to that nub and then boom, I'll be out of there. So it's just personal preference. You don't have to burn it all the way down, but that's just what I like to do. Now this is 3/16, also known as a 5mm rod. I burn these rods at various heats for different reasons. Reasons are, one, I burn it at real fast heats to go fast. When I'm rolling out a 4-inch one, I like to turn it up and boogie. Now, if I'm rolling out a big pipe, I necessarily kind of turn it down a little bit and take my time in stepping it. I don't need to move so fast because I got to fill up the bevels. Well, not necessarily the bevels, but, you know, between the bevels. So I like to get it really flushed out. A lot of people like to leave it under flush. That's just their style. I'm not knocking nobody, but me personally, I'm going to show you here why I like it flushed out. You can see I just got a nice rhythm going. I just whip it back and forth. Sometimes when I light it up, I don't whip it. I'll actually use a little bit of oscillation, and you'll see that at the beginning of the rods when I fire them up sometimes, that I'll kind of oscillate it at first. And that's just kind of trying to get the puddle to do what I want it to do, and then I start whipping and flipping it. Everybody's different, but you can see here, my method is I like to flip it. I like to flick it. It's just a little flip and flick, or a little steppy step, however you want to call it. Now, the important part here is keeping that arc tight, but not so tight. You'll notice here I kind of go tight when I go down, and then I kind of bring it up when I go up. That's the trick of this downhill rod. When you whip it down, you have to come close to the pipe. When you whip it up, you come to the top of your puddle, which is the top of the weld, which is bringing it up and above material. It's kind of like elongated. And you notice here, I dragged way down, I got up. Sometimes I start whipping it. Sometimes I get that little bit of oscillation going. Now you have to get your puddle full. If you don't get the puddle full, you're gonna basically leave the edges. And so that's the whole point of firing up and kind of oscillating it and building up creation of the puddle to get it full. If you guys TIG weld, you know what I mean about starving the puddle and keeping a full puddle. Same kind of concept in a way, but of course different, because you're burning down this electrode stick and you got to be constantly keeping the pressure going towards the pipe. Now you'll notice here I don't drag it all crazy. Now this is flat. I'm rolling them out. This isn't in position yet. We're going to get to the in position, but it doesn't change much. You notice here though, I'm not whipping far out of my puddle. I keep nice tight whips. That's the style that I do. That's the style I like. And so you can try that. You can try to keep real tight whips, and that'll help you on your caps, even when you're going down and around the pipe. Now, I'm running kind of hot around here. I think I'm running around 160 amps, give or take. That's what I like. Everybody's different. You can get down to 150, you can get down to 140 with these 5mm rods, but the thing is you're going to have to not keep such a long arc. You're going to have to keep more of a long arc. Now, I don't start right on top of my stop. I kind of drag up to it, fire up, and then get down on to where I was firing up and burn it out. Same concept for going uphill. You start above your weld that you started at, you drag it down to where you started, and you take off and you go up and you burn the trash out. Same thing with downhill, except for you start below, drag up to it, and as you go down, you burn that trash out. I get a lot of crap talking about how I'm leaving pinholes or whatnot, but a lot of people know when it comes to this downhill welding, it's just much different. You don't see the same characteristics as you do as far as uphill welding. In fact, you see the same things, but it's different. It took me a while to figure it out as well. I can't say that I'm the best welder, but it took me a while to figure out all these welders, how they were manipulating this downhill rod and how they were getting it to work. And so that's why I'm teaching these classes. I'm showing these guys how to manipulate this rod, how I would weld it. Of course, everyone has their style. Some people are going to tell you to go colder and slower, and that's fine. You get more of a stack and more of a ripple, like a dime stack when you're doing that. But with me, with heat and speed, you get more of them arrows. And, you know, we a bunch of Indians out here shooting arrows, so that's the way I like to look at it, man. I go as fast as I can, and sometimes it doesn't look like I'm going fast, but realistically, it is carrying it fast, faster than a lot of people are going to carry it. A lot of people are going to go even slower, and it's okay. At times, I like to go slow. Sometimes I like to carry a slow puddle. And I'll go ahead and show you one last arc shot to kind of really get you in the zone here, to show you the last little tie-in. You can kind of, you know, use a little bit of that oscillation technique, and you'll see here right when I break arc how it leaves that puddle. Everybody's different. Do it like that if you want. Whoa. So that's it, folks. Now my next move is like I'm gonna do 2 in-position welds to fit a nice degree 45 or whatever radius it is. The best way to fit it is lay it on its side, get it level this way, and then make sure it's level this way. That way you can fit your next piece coming onto it, and then you can make sure it's level. My 90 down there that you see, I'm gonna have to flip it up like that and make my fit like that, because the other 90 will come out and look that way. So the best way to fit it would be basically have my pipe like this and then fit my 90 like this. Piece here, you know, you want it to be up like this and level this way, so that way this piece can come out and go this way, because that's the way the run goes. And then when this whole piece is said and done, it goes down to a degree like that, and then actually it kind of goes down and offsets, and then this piece will go down. You grind it from here all the way to the bottom and redo this whole cap, just so they have their button at the bottom. I won't say no name. Nah, I'm just joking.
I didn't have that one.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that.